If you're innovating, out there on the edge, building something new, it's smart to manage your risk and test how well your product works as early as possible. That usually means building an MVP, a stripped-down prototype that's quick to build and easy to test, that's got the core features you want to validate.
When MVP experiments fail, it's often due to well-meaning people who lack an understanding of the nature of early product development. Watch out for these speed bumps along your path as you build and develop your MVP. Speed bump 1, the mass market visionary. Teams that stumble often do so because they go broad first and fail to capture their early market. These teams are often led by mass market visionaries, brilliant people who see what their product could become and where it could be headed, but not where it is right now. These people are often uncomfortable focusing on a small early market that falls outside of their vision for mass market adoption. The problem is, you won't get the chance to reach that mass market unless you first capture your early market and delight them with what you're building. If you're building something truly innovative, mainstream users aren't set up to understand your creation or give you the feedback you need to iterate it towards success. Instead, you need to find and delight just a few early high-need customers. Speed bump 2, the passionate believer. It takes superhuman self-control to listen dispassionately while early customers rip your idea to shreds. Consider a recent founder I worked with. He was eager to conduct customer interviews and sure that he'd be impartial. But during those sessions, his entrepreneurial passion took over. He just couldn't resist asking leading questions about the product and trying to talk people out of their reactions. To counteract this natural tendency, we trained a more junior person to conduct the interviews and had the entrepreneur sit there and take notes. We still used his guidance to refine the interview script and lead the analysis. This allowed us to get honest feedback about the product and shape it into something that millions of people use today. So you need to avoid falling in love with the particulars of your idea. Instead, test and refine your idea with early adopters and make sure that you're a dispassionate observer. Speed bump number 3, the data snob. Some people worship at the altar of analytics. They believe that actionable research always involves A/B testing and thousands of data points. That's great when you're optimizing an existing product, but not so useful when you're bringing a brand new innovative idea to life. Data snobs set themselves up as the champions of truth, and they dismiss any subjective research as unscientific. For example, when I was working with a fast-growing startup on a website redesign, we mocked up and tested several variations on the core functionality, found a winning design that met our business goals, and got high ratings from a handful of early customers. But then, a project manager with an agenda dismissed all our research and results as too small to count. That company ended up with a rebranded website with a new logo and new colors, but the same layout and functionality. No business problems were solved. It's smart to embrace subjective testing to validate your early ideas. Innovation comes from early prototyping. Analytics comes later. Know the difference. Speed bump 4, the high-gloss champion. A high-gloss champion has a hard time imagining how sketches and wireframes could possibly evolve into something wonderful. Polished visuals can easily fool them into thinking something is further along than it is. Now, visual quality is important for a finished product. Nobody wants to ship something ugly and hard to use. For early discovery, however, polishing your visuals can create a major speed bump. Take my former client, for example. A brilliant young CEO who came to me with gorgeous mock-ups that he thought were close to final product. Hint, they were not. He insisted on seeing that same level of polish to everything that we showed to potential customers. And our progress slowed to a crawl. Even worse, the team became attached to the beautiful visuals that we crafted. So when we discovered problems with the core value proposition, the team resisted those results, and that product ultimately failed. Polished visuals are harder to change both technically and emotionally. For rapid iteration, keep your visuals as pared down and simple as possible.
So remember, the purpose of building an MVP is to discover what's wrong with your idea as early as possible, while it's still easy to make changes. Renowned architect Frank Lloyd Wright says, you can use an eraser on the drafting table or a sledgehammer on the construction site. To learn more about building high-retention products, make sure to download your free PMF cheat sheet. The link is in the description.